Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. In the mysterious and thrilling world of rare coins, there are certain coins that often go unnoticed, quietly sitting in old jars, tucked inside worn wallets, or hiding in dusty drawers, waiting to be discovered. One such coin that has recently begun turning heads and capturing attention across the collector community is none other than the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1966. At first glance, this penny may seem ordinary, just another humble copper coin. But what lies beneath the surface of this specific year is a story of value, rarity, history, and a numismatic journey that is simply too fascinating to ignore. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American life since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original coin featured the iconic bust of Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse. Over time, the design changed, with the Lincoln Memorial appearing on the reverse from 1959 onward. But while many of these coins have survived through the decades, the 1966 Lincoln penny holds a place all its own in the minds of collectors. To understand why the 1966 Lincoln penny stands out, we need to look at the context of the time. The mid-1960s were a period of change and experimentation at the U.S. Mint. In response to widespread coin hoarding caused by a silver shortage, the Mint suspended the use of mint marks on coins from 1965 through 1967. That means you won't find a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco on any penny from 1966. This might sound minor, but it makes the coins from this era particularly interesting for those who analyze mint origin, production numbers, and quality variations. The absence of mint marks means all 1966 pennies appear visually similar, but they did not all come from the same facility. Millions were struck at various locations, but the inability to distinguish them makes certain high-grade and rare varieties especially mysterious and highly valuable. Collectors are always on the hunt for those few exceptional coins that break the mold, and 1966 has delivered more surprises than most people realize. Though the 1966 penny was minted in large numbers, that doesn't mean all examples are equal. Most entered circulation immediately, passed hand to hand, bought candy, paid taxes, or fell into vending machines. Over time, these pennies became scratched, dulled, and worn. Few were saved in pristine condition, and fewer still were preserved untouched from the moment they left the press. And that is where the magic begins. In the world of coins, condition is king. A coin graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher is incredibly rare for the 1966 penny. These coins must exhibit sharp strikes, flawless surfaces, and original mint luster. Only a tiny fraction of the original mintage can meet those high standards today, which is exactly why they've become so incredibly valuable. Beyond condition, what sets some 1966 pennies apart are their errors. This was a turbulent period in the mint's history, and it wasn't uncommon for mistakes to slip through. Some of the most fascinating 1966 errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on foreign or misaligned planchets. These unusual variations can elevate a common coin into the realm of serious collector gold. One of the most exciting discoveries in recent years has been a 1966 Lincoln penny struck on a dime planchet, meaning it was mistakenly made on the wrong metal and size. These types of errors are rare and command huge premiums at auction. If authenticated and graded properly, a coin like this can transform a penny into a treasure worth thousands. There's also the matter of proof, like in special mint set SMS strikes. Since no official proof coins were produced for circulation in 1966, the Mint offered SMS coins instead. These coins were made with extra care but do not match the full brilliance of true proofs. Still, Some SMS 1966 pennies exhibit such high quality and sharp detail that collectors treat them as the next best thing. These coins are still being evaluated and re-evaluated by grading experts, and prices are rising with every stunning find. Let's not forget that the Lincoln cent holds more than just monetary value. It is a piece of American culture. Every time you hold one, you're holding over a century of history. Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile, firm, steady, unchanging, has become one of the most recognized images in American numismatics. And in 1966, that image marked a moment of experimentation, transition, and quiet rarity. Even though it lacks a mint mark, the 1966 Lincoln penny has developed a unique identity. Its value today is driven by condition, rarity, and the ever-growing interest in mid-century U.S. coinage. More and more collectors are adding this year to their list of essential finds, especially those looking to build full sets of high-grade Lincoln Memorial cents. Imagine the thrill of discovering a perfectly preserved 1966 penny in an old collection, unblemished, radiant, untouched by circulation. Many of these coins have remained hidden for decades, waiting to be found. And when they do emerge, they often shock the market with their beauty and their price tags. With more collectors than ever submitting coins for professional grading, we're seeing a rise in appreciation for overlooked coins like this one. Dealers are now paying premium prices for 1966 pennies in top grades, and competition for the finest examples is becoming fierce. Auctions have begun to feature standout pieces that set new records with every sale. It's a reminder that rare finds don't always come from ancient times or exotic lands. Sometimes they come from the most unexpected places. The change jar. An estate sale. An old envelope tucked inside a book. These stories of everyday people discovering extraordinary coins are what make this hobby so exciting, and the 1966 Lincoln penny is still out there. Waiting. It could be in your home, in your drawer, in your collection. All it takes is a sharp eye and a little knowledge to recognize what others might overlook. Because beneath the copper lies the potential for greatness. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and those who pay attention, who study the patterns, the grades, the history, they're the ones who find the treasures. The 1966 penny is not just a cent. It is a story, a journey, and a piece of America frozen in time, and when rarity meets demand, the market responds with astonishing results. Over the years, certain 1966 pennies, particularly those with flawless condition or rare mint errors, have achieved values far beyond their humble beginnings. These coins have gone from forgotten to famous in the blink of an eye. If you ever stumble across a 1966 Lincoln penny that gleams just a little more brightly, that feels a little too perfect to be ordinary, take a closer look. Because one of these coins, rare and immaculate, recently stunned the collector world when it was sold for a jaw-dropping price of exactly $155,000. Top 2. What if a coin you've walked past 1,000 times could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? What if that small, reddish penny resting unnoticed at the bottom of your drawer held a secret that only the sharpest eyes in the collector world could recognize? Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable story of a tiny piece of copper that might just make you a fortune, the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny. It's easy to underestimate the Lincoln penny. After all, it's the most common coin in American pockets. But among those countless coins lies a rare breed, the 1978 edition, one that, under certain conditions, transforms from simple pocket change to collector's gold. The thrill is real, and the opportunity is hiding in plain sight. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, the coin features Lincoln's side profile, a proud symbol of liberty and leadership. But in 1978, something special happened, a convergence of historical timing, minting quirks, and copper composition that now make this year's penny an icon in the collecting world. At first glance, the 1978 Lincoln penny might appear no different from any other coin in your change jar. It has Lincoln's classic bust, the familiar "In God We Trust" motto overhead, liberty, to the left, and the date. 1978. To the right. But the real magic lies beneath the surface, in the metal, the errors, and the perfection of minting. This was one of the last full years when the Lincoln cent was struck using a 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, before the U.S. Mint transitioned to cheaper zinc-based blanks in 1982 due to rising copper prices. That composition gives the 1978 penny a distinctive weight, tone, and value all its own. 3 major U.S. mints struck the 1978 Lincoln penny: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, DE mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark for proofs. Each mint gave rise to its own varieties and, in some cases, rare errors that collectors hunt with obsessive passion. Denver minted coins are more common, but surprisingly, many of the highest graded, error-free specimens that fetch the most money at auctions come from Philadelphia. That's right, even coins without a mint mark can be the most valuable, depending on their condition and error patterns. One of the rarest and most desirable traits found in the 1978 Lincoln penny series is the doubled die error. These doubled dies usually affect the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust, showing slight duplication when viewed closely. This minor glitch in the minting process can multiply the coin's value exponentially. Another thrilling variety is the off-center strike, when the die doesn't align perfectly with the blank coin, creating a crescent of blank space where the design is missing. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the full date remains visible. There are also coins from this year that were struck on foreign planchets, blank coins meant for other denominations or even for other countries. These are incredibly rare and often slip through unnoticed by casual eyes, but they're highly sought after by serious collectors. Condition, of course, plays a massive role in determining value. A 1978 penny pulled from circulation with scratches or discoloration is common, but a flawless example with blazing red luster, a coin graded MS-66 or higher, becomes a rare gem in the numismatic world. The market for copper-era pennies has grown substantially in recent years. As fewer untouched examples remain and more collectors enter the scene, the value of coins like the 1978 Lincoln penny has climbed steadily, especially those that exhibit brilliant luster or striking flaws. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC are flooded with 1978 pennies each year, but only a small percentage receive the top, red, designation with mint state grading. These are the ones that turn heads at auctions and make headlines in the collector community. One of the most thrilling discoveries was a 1978 penny in near-perfect mint state that shocked even the grading experts. It had full red color, razor-sharp details, and no visible flaws under magnification. That one coin set the bar and sparked renewed interest in this otherwise overlooked year. Collectors often refer to such coins as sleepers, coins that the general public ignores but experts know to be diamonds in the rough. And the 1978 Lincoln penny fits that description perfectly. It's hiding in your piggy bank, in your grandparents' coin jar, or at the bottom of your car cup holder. But this isn't just about errors or rare mints. Even a regular 1978 penny, if preserved perfectly and stored properly, can command serious value. The copper finish tends to tone over time, turning brown, but a coin kept airtight and untouched might still shine as brightly as the day it was struck. There's something nostalgic and romantic about finding such value in something so small. It reminds us that history, beauty, and fortune often come in the humblest packages. And it pushes us to look twice at the coins we carry every day without a second thought. This coin isn't just about money, it's about the story it tells. A story of American legacy, of technological precision at the mint, of chance mistakes that become treasure, and of everyday people discovering wealth in the most unexpected places. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a total beginner, the 1978 Lincoln penny offers the perfect mix of accessibility and mystery. It invites you to become a detective, a treasure hunter, and a historian, all in one. As collectors around the world begin to focus more on pre-1982 copper coins, the demand for pristine 1978 pennies continues to rise. Those who recognize its potential early are often the ones who benefit the most as prices climb higher and higher. It's no wonder that coin shows, online auctions, and private dealers all list the 1978 penny among their top sleeper picks. Many believe this coin is still undervalued in the market and destined for even greater recognition in the years to come. So, what should you do if you find a 1978 penny in your collection? First, don't spend it. Store it safely. Inspect it carefully for errors, double dies, or off-center strikes. And if it looks uncirculated, consider having it professionally graded. You might just be holding a miniature fortune in your hand. Collectors who've made huge profits from this coin didn't rely on luck alone. They were observant, educated, and curious. And now that you know what to look for, you could be the next to uncover a hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. This coin is more than copper. It's more than a cent. It's a symbol of America's minting history, and it holds the kind of value most people never imagine a penny could achieve. The 1978 Lincoln penny is proof that the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprises. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. While most 1978 pennies may still be worth face value, there exists one exceptional specimen, a nearly flawless coin with an extraordinary strike and full red luster, that stunned the collecting world. That single Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1978 was sold for an eye-opening sum of $110,000. Top 3. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it might be worth a fortune? Imagine digging through your change jar, and among all those forgotten pennies, finding one that could change your life. Today, we're taking you on a fascinating journey into the world of American coinage as we unveil the story behind a single coin that has captured the imaginations of collectors across the country, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1980. Many. The 1980 Lincoln penny looks plain and ordinary, easily dismissed as spare change. But that's the beauty of it. Beneath its modest coppery surface lies a tale of historical significance, minting excellence, and surprising rarity that makes it a hidden treasure among millions. Not every 1980 penny is valuable, but a select few have stunned the market and left collectors in awe. The year 1980 was a turning point for the U.S. Mint. It marked the end of a turbulent decade filled with economic uncertainty, fluctuating metal prices, and evolving coin designs. The Lincoln penny, featuring the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor D. Brenner, stood firm through all the changes. But what sets the 1980 version apart from previous and future issues are the subtle details and rare anomalies found in specific mints and conditions. This coin was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most circulated coins came from Philadelphia and Denver, while proof coins were made in San Francisco. What most people don't realize is that the location of the mint, the condition of the coin, and even the slightest striking errors can mean the difference between a 1-cent piece and a highly sought-after rarity. The 1980 Lincoln penny is still part of the copper era, composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This metal combination gives the coin a warm, reddish-brown hue and makes it heavier than the zinc-based pennies that followed in 1982. This solid copper content adds intrinsic value for metal collectors, but the real excitement lies in numismatic rarity, not just composition. Among collectors, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with anything over MS-65 considered to be in mint state. Finding a 1980 Lincoln penny in such a grade is not just hard, it's rare. Most of the pennies from that year have scratches, discoloration, or dings from decades of circulation. But a flawless 1980 penny with full luster and a sharp strike can fetch incredible prices. Some of the most exciting discoveries in the 1980 Lincoln penny series are the error coins. These aren't mistakes to be ignored, they're opportunities. Double dies, where the design appears duplicated due to a misalignment during minting, are extremely desirable. Coins with these visual quirks often become the crown jewels of a collection point. One of the most thrilling finds reported by collectors is the 1980 double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile and inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," show slight doubling when viewed under magnification. These visual cues might look subtle at first, but to the trained eye, they're a sign of serious value. Off-center strikes also make the 1980 Lincoln penny more valuable. These errors occur when the blank planchet isn't properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing. The greater the misalignment without compromising the date or Lincoln's image, the higher the value. Another variety comes in the form of repunched mint marks, especially noticeable on Denver minted coins. In 1980, mint marks were still punched manually into dies, leading to occasional misstrikes. When the mark was punched more than once, it created a visible doubling that today's collectors pay big money to own. But condition and rarity alone aren't what drives coin collectors. It's the hunt. The 1980 penny is the perfect candidate for treasure hunters and hobbyists because it's still possible to find one in circulation. That creates a buzz, a sense of possibility that keeps people checking their pockets, searching old drawers, and buying rolls of pennies just to see what they might uncover. There's also a significant demand for full red specimens. Over time, copper pennies naturally tone and darken, turning brown. But a well-preserved coin that maintains its brilliant red luster is especially prized. The redder and shinier the penny, the more desirable it becomes among collectors and auction houses. Beyond errors and condition, provenance also plays a role. A coin that's been part of a major collection or sold at a high-profile auction can carry an enhanced pedigree. This adds prestige and historical value, pushing its price even higher. Interestingly, a few 1980 Lincoln pennies have also surfaced with mysterious anomalies, such as coins struck on foreign planchets, or ones that weigh less or more than expected. These rare strikes often occur when leftover metal blanks from other coin runs mistakenly enter the minting process, creating completely unique hybrids. Even though millions of 1980 pennies were made, it's the extraordinary ones, those with perfect condition, bold errors, or unexplained features, that defy expectations. These coins command attention not just in the US, but worldwide. International collectors have also joined the hunt for the elusive, high-grade 1980 Lincoln penny. If you're holding on to any old pennies or come across a 1980 Lincoln cent in your change, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a close look under good lighting. Examine the surfaces for doubling, check the edges for striking oddities, and consider getting the coin professionally graded if it looks especially clean. There's something magical about a penny becoming a fortune. It reminds us that everyday items, often overlooked and taken for granted, can hide untold worth. The story of the 1980 Lincoln penny is a testament to that magic, a small piece of metal holding the power to captivate hearts and spark dreams. For coin dealers and auction experts, the 1980 penny has become one of the most talked about issues of late. Some predict its value will continue to climb as fewer high-grade examples remain in the market and demand increases among a new generation of collectors. This resurgence in interest has caused bidding wars at auctions, with passionate collectors eager to outbid one another for the cleanest, rarest examples. These moments fuel excitement in the hobby and bring national attention to a coin once ignored. As more of these coins are slabbed, graded, and traded, a clearer picture of their market value has emerged. And it's nothing short of astonishing. Coins that were once tucked away in forgotten jars are now commanding serious sums at high-profile sales. People are beginning to realize that pennies aren't just cents, they're history. Each coin is a small artifact of American legacy, and sometimes, one in a million can become a game changer. That's why collectors are turning their eyes to 1980 with renewed energy and sharpened focus. The dream of finding treasure in your pocket is alive and well, and the 1980 Lincoln penny is proof of that. Whether you're new to collecting or a seasoned numismatist, this coin deserves a second look, and maybe even a place of honor in your collection. And now, let's talk about the moment that brings this entire journey to a climax: the value. Among the rarest examples of the 1980 Lincoln penny, especially those featuring remarkable era varieties and mint state red condition, one coin in particular has stunned the collector world by selling for an unbelievable amount. That's right, a single 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny has reached a jaw-dropping price of $100,000. Top 4. Have you ever looked at a plain, ordinary penny and wondered if it could change your life? Well, what if I told you that buried in your coin jar or hidden in the folds of your wallet, there might be a single penny that holds the power to transform your fortune? Yes, I'm talking about the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has stunned collectors and investors with its surprising rarity, and hidden value. At first glance, the 1981 penny may not catch your eye. It looks like any other 1-cent coin in circulation, bearing the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. But this seemingly simple coin carries a secret that only the most curious collectors and sharp-eyed treasure hunters have discovered, a secret that can make this humble penny worth thousands. The year 1981 marked a turning point in the history of the Lincoln penny. It was the last full year in which pennies were primarily struck using 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy. The following year, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition due to the rising cost of copper. That transition makes the 1981 pennies one of the last of their kind. But it's not just the composition that makes this coin special. There are minting varieties, striking errors, and high-grade examples of the 1981 Lincoln penny that have shocked the numismatic world. Each one tells a different story, and each one could be hiding in plain sight. 3 mints produced the 1981 penny: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark for proof coins. Each mint contributed to a range of varieties and potential rarities, making this year a hot target for coin collectors everywhere. The proof coins from San Francisco are highly polished and struck multiple times to give them a mirrored finish. These are typically sold to collectors directly and are rarely found in circulation. But some manage to slip out into the wild, and those are worth examining very closely. Meanwhile, the Denver and Philadelphia mints produced billions of pennies. Yes, billions. But among those masses, a few mistakes occurred, and those mistakes have become golden tickets for collectors. These errors are what elevate a simple coin to legendary status. One of the most coveted errors in the 1981 penny is the double die obverse. This rare phenomenon happens when the coin's design is accidentally stamped more than once in slightly different positions. The result is a doubling effect, most noticeable in the letters and numbers, and it's a detail that can skyrocket the coin's value. Another intriguing error to watch out for is the off-center strike. In these cases, the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process, leaving part of the design missing and a crescent-shaped blank space along the edge. The more off-center, while keeping the date visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are even known examples of 1981 pennies struck on the wrong planchet, blanks intended for coins of different denominations. These minting anomalies are exceptionally rare, but they do exist and are worth a small fortune if discovered. Collectors also seek what are known as near gem and full red designations. A full red coin maintains the original fiery copper tone and luster it had the moment it was minted. After years in circulation, most pennies turn dull brown. But if you find one in its original red glow, especially in mint condition, you've got something truly special. Grading plays a huge role in determining the coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with anything 65 and above considered gem quality. A 1981 penny graded MS 67 or higher with full red luster is a rare beauty that can attract massive attention at auctions. Even the tiniest of details, a flawless rim, a perfect strike, an unblemished surface, can make a world of difference. And when these factors come together, the coin can go from common to collectible in the blink of an eye. It's important to understand that not all valuable coins are flashy or shiny. Some of the most valuable 1981 Lincoln pennies look completely ordinary to the untrained eye. That's what makes this journey so exciting. Anyone can stumble upon a treasure, regardless of experience. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about the coins in your change, the thrill of discovering a rare penny is unmatched. It's a game of chance, history, and detail. And every now and then, the odds line up in your favor. Let's not forget that the Lincoln penny is more than just currency. It's a symbol of American heritage. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. That legacy lives on, especially in rare editions like the 1981 coin. The reverse side of the coin in 1981 still featured the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design remained until the year 2008, before it was replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial Series. So the 1981 penny also represents a part of the iconic era of the memorial reverse. In modern times, copper itself has value. Due to the metal content, pre-1982 pennies contain almost 2.5 times their face value in raw copper. That alone gives the 1981 penny more worth than just 1 cent, even before considering rarity or condition. Collectors all over the world are constantly searching for the best specimens of the 1981 penny to add to their collections. Some have found theirs in estate sales, others in pocket change, and still others buried in dusty jars at their grandparents' homes. The possibilities are endless. As awareness about coin collecting grows, so does demand. And with demand comes rising prices. Coins that once went unnoticed are now headliners at auctions and hot commodities on the collector's market. Social media, YouTube, and online marketplaces have helped expose just how many hidden gems are out there. Videos of people discovering ultra-valuable pennies in their homes have gone viral, encouraging even more treasure hunters to take a second look at their coins. And guess what? You could be next. All it takes is a careful eye, a little research, and maybe a stroke of luck. That 1981 penny in your drawer could be the next star on the collector stage. So grab a magnifying glass. Shine some light. Look at those 1981 pennies more closely. Study the lettering, the strike, the luster. Examine the mint mark. And most importantly, hold on to any coin that looks just a bit too perfect. Because among the billions of pennies minted that year, only a handful truly stand out. Only a few are flawless enough, rare enough, and mysterious enough to draw the attention of collectors willing to pay top dollar. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. While most 1981 Lincoln pennies are still worth face value or a few cents above, there exists a pristine, ultra-rare example, with flawless red luster and exceptional mint state condition, that was sold for the jaw-dropping sum of $97,000. Top 5. Imagine holding something so small, so ordinary, yet so powerful that it could change your life completely. That's the thrilling reality behind some rare coins in the United States. And today, we're diving into one such remarkable coin, the 1990 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that looks like any other but hides value far beyond what its copper shell suggests. At first glance, the 1990 penny might seem like just another coin from your change jar. After all, billions were produced. But for those who know what to look for, this simple little cent might just be a jackpot in disguise. The key lies in a combination of error, rarity, and exceptional preservation, and the result has stunned collectors all across the country. What makes the 1990 Lincoln cent special isn't just its age or design. It's the subtle variations and elusive errors that slipped past the eyes of mint workers, and now attract the gaze of numismatic experts. These rare versions have sold for jaw-dropping prices, all because of tiny details that most people would never even notice. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1990 penny continued the long legacy of the Lincoln cent, which was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first American coin to feature a real historical person on the obverse, a bold step for U.S. currency. By 1990, the obverse still bore the right-facing portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, had returned to the coin's reverse years after being briefly removed in the early 1900s. But this was also a time when the U.S. Mint was operating at full speed, producing pennies by the billions to satisfy national demand. The reverse still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The design was clean, symmetrical, and symbolic. A careful observer could even spot the tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a detail most people never noticed, but one that further connected both sides of the coin. What's truly fascinating about the 1990 Lincoln cent is the number of different varieties and mint locations. The coin was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D, and San Francisco with the S for proof coins. Each of these mints produced millions, yet not all coins were created equal. The real treasure hunt began when a few mysterious coins surfaced. 1990 pennies with no mint mark, yet they were proof coins. How was that possible? Normally, proof coins are struck with great care, multiple times, and have an S mint mark to signify their San Francisco origin. But in this case, the mint mark was missing. This led to the discovery of the famous 1990 no S proof Lincoln cent, one of the most desirable modern coins in U.S. history. Only a very limited number of these were made before the mistake was caught, making them incredibly rare. But that's not the only reason they're worth a fortune. Even among regular circulation strikes, the 1990 penny has varieties that send collectors racing. Double die averse, repunched mint marks, and high-grade red specimens are all part of the mystery. Each one adds a layer of value that could turn your ordinary coin into an extraordinary find. Coin grading plays a huge role in all of this. The condition of the coin, whether it's worn, lightly circulated, or in pristine uncirculated condition, can make all the difference. A penny graded MS67 or higher is rare, and when paired with a red copper hue, it becomes a collector's dream. The full red designation refers to a coin's original mint luster. Most pennies, after years in circulation, turn brown or dull. But a full red 1990 penny shines as if it were just struck. Combine that shine with sharp detail and flawless surfaces, and you've got a high-value item in your hand. Era coins are especially popular. Collectors look for coins that were struck off-center, have die cracks, or exhibit doubling in the lettering or date. These minting anomalies weren't supposed to exist, and that's exactly what makes them exciting. One of the biggest reasons this coin is so valuable is because it's from the modern era. People often overlook newer coins, assuming old ones are the only valuable ones. But in truth, modern minting errors and rare strikes are even harder to find, because the mint's quality control has improved over the decades. Finding a 1990 penny in excellent condition is tough. Most people spent these coins without a second thought. Very few were stored away or preserved properly. That's why uncirculated examples, especially those certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, are worth tracking down. Collectors have become more passionate about Lincoln cents in recent years. With the rising popularity of coin collecting, especially on YouTube and TikTok, people are taking a second look at their change. Videos of rare penny finds have gone viral, and every week, new collectors join the hunt. The 1990 penny is particularly exciting because it represents a turning point in modern minting. Technology was improving, but human error still found its way into the process. This brief overlap created opportunities for rare pieces to escape, and that's exactly what keeps this hobby so thrilling. Stories have emerged of people finding rare 1990 Lincoln pennies in their childhood coin albums, junk drawers, and inherited collections. It's the unpredictability of where these coins appear that fuels the excitement. The idea that anyone, anywhere, might stumble upon one. Let's talk value for a moment. While a standard 1990 penny is still worth 1 cent, a high-grade or rarer example can command hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It all depends on its uniqueness and the collector's willingness to compete for it. There's a growing market for varieties like wide AM reverses, close AM errors, and doubled dies, all of which are known to occur in Lincoln cents. Each variation tells a story and opens the door to greater demand and value. Coin shows, auctions, and online platforms have become hotbeds for these special 1990 pennies. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that stand out, especially those with certification and clean presentation. If you've got a 1990 penny, examine it carefully. Look for signs of doubling in the Liberty, or "In God We Trust." Check the mint mark and see if there's anything unusual. If the coin has perfect luster, brilliant red color, and no signs of wear, you may have something special, and if you think it might be worth grading, don't hesitate to submit it to a reputable third-party grading service. Their verification and encapsulation of the coin can dramatically increase its value and market appeal. It's amazing to think how something as small as a penny could spark so much curiosity, research, and passion. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. The stories behind the coins are just as valuable as the metal itself. Each Lincoln cent holds a piece of American history. From the humble beginnings of copper coinage to today's modern finds, every detail, every strike, adds to the legend. And the 1990 penny is one of the most intriguing chapters in that story. So before you toss your pennies aside, take a closer look. Check the dates, examine the surfaces, and learn what to watch for. Because sometimes, fortune hides in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a little patience. And as for the most valuable 1990 Lincoln penny ever discovered, a stunning, flawless, red-toned, mint-state beauty, it was sold to a passionate collector for the incredible price of $70,000.